Okay, so picture this. You find like this amazing olive oil online, right? It's the one that makes even like the most basic pasta taste incredible.
Huh.
But then, bam, you go to checkout, and suddenly it's like 20% more expensive.
Oof. Yeah. I can see that happening.
And that, my friend, is the potential reality with all these new tariffs coming down the line. And that's what today's deep dive is all about.
Yeah, tariffs.
So we're going to unpack how they work, what they mean for you, especially when it comes to, all that online shopping we love to do.
Online shopping, yeah, for sure.
But first things first, like, what even are tariffs?
Yeah, so basically tariffs are like taxes on imported goods.
Okay.
Think of them like a toll booth for all that stuff coming into the country.
Okay, a toll booth. I like that.
Yeah, but what we're going to really unpack today is how those tariffs ripple through like the whole system.
Yeah.
Affecting not just prices, which we've talked about a little, but also like, the availability of things even, where companies, get their products from.
So it's not just, hitting our wallets.
Right, exactly. It's way more complex than that.
It's a whole web. Yeah.
Okay, so let's start with this whole domino effect idea.
Yeah.
You mentioned that tariffs kind of trigger this chain reaction.
Yeah, for sure.
So how does that actually play out like in the real world, with parcel shipping and all that?
Yeah. So, the obvious starting point is increased costs, right?
Yeah.
Tariffs make those imported goods pricier, and that hits your wallet directly, potentially.
Yeah.
But then there are like these less obvious impacts too.
Yeah.
Like think supply chain disruptions.
Oh.
It's like a massive traffic jam.
Yep.
But instead of cars, it's all the goods we order online.
Right. So it's like that slow boat from China just got even slower.
Exactly. And sometimes those items you want might just become like temporarily unavailable.
Oh, no.
While businesses scramble to figure out like, new ways to do things.
So it's not even just about price. It's about like,
right.
Can I even get it?
Exactly. Like, will it even arrive? Okay, so we're talking delays. We're talking maybe some stuff just doesn't even show up at all.
Right. And then you have to think about, those companies that rely heavily on imports.
Yeah.
They might start looking for new suppliers in different countries,
I'm like playing musical chairs with countries?
Yeah, kind of like they're looking for the countries that aren't hit by these tariffs.
So like shopping around.
Exactly.
For the best deal.
Yeah. And that could mean like, some of your favorite brands might just disappear from the shelves, and then some new players might enter the market.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's a big shakeup.
That's a lot to process.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so we've got, prices going up. We've got potential delays. We've got, my favorite brands maybe going away.
Yeah.
New brands coming in. What else is going on here?
Well, then there's the whole impact on just like consumer behavior in general, right?
Oh, yeah. How we shop.
Exactly. Because when prices climb, people tend to buy less, right?
Yeah, makes sense.
And that can hurt businesses, especially, those smaller businesses.
Right. They don't have as much.
Exactly. They don't have the same kind of buffer. And then it can even trigger retaliatory tariffs from other countries.
Oh, so then it's like it's a whole cycle.
Yeah. Tit for tat.
Yeah, like a trade war brewing.
Nobody wins in a trade war, right?
Exactly. That's what I was saying before. Like nobody wins.
Okay, so amidst all of this, doom and gloom, are there any businesses that are actually like thriving in this environment? What are they doing differently?
Yeah, actually there are. And it's really interesting to see how some businesses are getting really savvy.
Okay.
Like one strategy that's working for some is diversifying their supply chains.
Okay.
So instead of relying on, just one country, they're spreading their sourcing across multiple countries.
Oh, so not putting all their eggs in one basket.
Exactly. It's like building a diversified investment portfolio, but for their products.
Makes sense.
Right. And then there's something called foreign trade zones.
Okay, what's that? Think of them like these special economic zones where goods can be stored or assembled, even processed without those duties kicking in.
Okay.
Until they officially, enter the U.S. market.
Oh, so it's not just like a layover. It's like a...
Right.
Strategic stuff.
Yeah, it's a way to manage costs, potentially even avoid those tariffs altogether.
Clever.
Right.
Okay, so we've got diversifying. We've got these foreign trade zones. Any other, tricks up their sleeves?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
What else are they doing?
Some companies are using what's called tariff engineering.
Okay, tariff engineering, what is that?
So that's where they basically tweak their products just enough so they can qualify for a lower tariff category.
Oh, so they're like gaming the system a little bit.
Yeah, kind of. It's like finding a loophole, but it can be risky.
How so?
Well, because sometimes, changing a product's design or the materials even, it might compromise the quality or how well it works. And there's always the risk of running afoul of customs regulation.
Oh, so you can get in trouble?
Yeah, it's a delicate balancing act.
High stakes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about, sourcing products differently, but what about like actually managing those imports once they're on their way? Any creative moves there?
Yeah, definitely. There's this strategy called first sale for export. It's pretty interesting.
Okay, first sale for export. Tell me more.
So imagine a company buys goods at a lower price, from a supplier in a duty-free zone, and then they export those goods to the U.S. Okay, so they're basically using that lower price from the initial sale to lower their overall tariff burden.
Oh, that's smart.
Right.
So they're working the system in a legal way.
Exactly. It's all about understanding those, complexities of international trade and using them to your advantage.
Okay, so this has been a lot. We've covered, diversifying supply chains, foreign trade zones, tariff engineering, this first sale for export thing.
Yeah.
With all these moving parts, how can businesses, really prepare for the long game? Is it just about stockpiling inventory?
Stocking up is definitely one option, but, warehousing costs can really add up.
Yeah.
A smarter approach, I think, is to build in price adjustment clauses in those contracts they have with their suppliers. That way, if tariffs do lead to those price hikes, they've got a safety net.
So it's like an insurance policy.
Exactly. Like insurance against that price volatility.
Okay.
And then, of course, choosing the right suppliers is super crucial.
Yeah.
Businesses need partners who are also, adept at navigating this whole tariff landscape.
So it's like picking a good travel buddy.
Right.
Someone who knows the shortcuts.
Exactly. Knows how to avoid the pitfalls.
Awesome. Well, this has been such a fascinating look into the world of tariffs.
Yeah, it's a whole world.
What's the key takeaway you want our listener to walk away with today?
I think the biggest thing is just remembering that the world of tariffs, it's dynamic, it's constantly evolving. But, the more we understand how it all works, those complexities, the better equipped we are to navigate, this whole changing landscape of global trade.
Totally. And I think this deep dive has given our listeners, a really solid framework. But the learning doesn't stop here.
Never stops.
Right. Keep asking questions. Stay curious. And, really consider how these global shifts impact your own, shopping habits, your choices.
Your everyday life.
Yeah. You might be surprised by what you discover.
For sure.
Thanks for joining me on this deep dive.
Thanks for having me.
See you next time.
See ya.